Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Cliff here with Fox It Outdoors. It is 4:30 p.m. on Wednesday, the 18th of August. We're doing a little bit of yard work here, as we can all guess, or as I can show you here. Got all my stuff set up, moved my trees out of the planter. I've got my wheelbarrow over here. I am sifting out my big debris. I yanked out this garbage plant and used most of the dirt that was in there, plus half a bag of compost, half a bag of the Miracle-Gro garden soil, and then a half a bag of the regular planter garden soil mix. Got my planter all set up, or at least halfway, loaded with its standard bark bottom and A-crate layer divider. Don't know if you guys can see them down here in the bottom, but I had to put some drain holes in it, otherwise this stuff was going to rot out, and I don't want my stuff rotting in the bottom. I do have bark down there. It will take it a while to drain out, but is what it is. I should have drilled them a little lower, but it's hard to do that when you forget to drill them beforehand, or don't have the proper materials to drill them beforehand and have to stop halfway and go to the store and buy them. But as you guys can see, that's pretty much what I'm doing today. We're not going to do too much of a yard tour today. Not really much going on in the backyard, other than I've got my plants and usual stuff going back there. I don't have any major projects going on the back side of the house, so everything's been focusing on the front side. Today I went and pulled back all of my mulch here, added about 2 inches of compost, or manure. Figured I'd give my guys some fertilizer so they would grow bigger. Sorry for the helicopter noise. I got a Black Hawk flying overhead. I can probably get it on film, but it'd be too much of a pain. But you guys can see here, I've got tons of new growth on this plant everywhere. This thing is finally taken off. I've been weaving this stuff in and out of the lattice work that I have back here. This is all new growth right back here. I'm just weaving it in and out to make a shade screen or a privacy screen. Hoping to get maybe 2 more of these next season, and I'm actually going to plant them in there. And then I'm just going to go straight across, lattice work them back and forth, and I'm just going to have a massive wall of green and blackberries. Well, that will be my summer project for next season. Aside from that, I've got my potatoes still up in here, doing all right. This one looks like it's dying off, may or may not have gotten too much water. As you guys can see down there, I've got a ton of just standing water. Here's my stupid ivy plants that I decided I was going to try to save, but honestly, at this point, I just don't care anymore. I have enough of this stuff in my yard. I don't need any more of it. I just don't. I do not need any more ivy in the yard. But anywho, enough babbling about that. Saving my mulch, as always, over here, just so I can add it to my plants. This is what I did last week. I'm not sure if I showed you guys or not. I moved all these over here from up under the awning section. I wanted to give them more sunlight to see if I can get my 2 pots of carrots to grow a little better. My onions seem to be doing fine back here as long as I give them water. The little green down there is lettuce. See what it does. I may or may not just add a layer of mulch to my onions just to keep them from drying out on top, give them a little bit more protection. I've got my other mulch bin back here. That was one of my main ones that I had saved up before from the first dozen or so bags of compost that I mixed out. Hopefully by the end of the day I'll have that one filled as well, along with the rest of this guy. I'm going to fill this one pretty much to the lip, to this lip right here. I just got to get it all packed down, loosened up, or whatnot. You guys can see back here, it actually separates little by little. Gets wet and then dries out and separates. But yeah, I might actually just tip this pot over slightly and then just redo those holes, get them a little bigger. Because the ones on these are like 1.5 inches, 1 3/4, something like that, or 1 1/4 for the drain spouts. I'll go show you what I'm talking about. I don't even have this one draining. So yeah, see, these ones are like 1 1/4 inches. Actually, got to get this guy out. And then he'll start draining off, and then I can start getting him set, ready to go. But yeah, I had to go stop and buy one of these step-up bits just to drill some holes in my metal containers, because I don't got nothing to drill holes in. Got my little pot of onions back here, doing their oniony thing, getting big but not doing much. I should trim them again. I should actually just replant all of these into the other pot, get them all going. This guy seems to be doing pretty good for some reason. I don't know why. This is massive. Got my strawberries over here still producing flowers, but I haven't been getting a lot of strawberries off of them due to the heat and due to the fact that I keep forgetting to water them, honestly. But I got new growth on a lot of them when I do water them, so they're not dying. They're just not getting the nutrients or whatnot. So I think I need to add some manure to these guys as well. Mailman just drove by. But anyways, I digress. I do need to add some fertilizer to all of these just to give them some nutrients, because they've probably sucked up all the stuff that's in those pots. My parsley, that is looking sad. And I've only got a handful left in that one. I'll most likely wait till these guys die off. I've already got enough seeds to replant anyways. So I'm not worried about anything like that. I don't have to buy seeds for it. I've got enough to replant. So I'll just wait till these are done, pull out the soil, sift it, redo it. And then again, I still have 2 pots of mulch up here as well. My main barrel of mulch, it's completely empty. I've got it filled with water now. Aside from that, we go back here. We've got our beans. I think it's another Kentucky pole bean. I've got 2 here. You guys can see I've got 4 or 5 back there. I'm gonna have more here. I actually picked off about 15 today. Look, I got another one right back, 2 more back there. But yeah, I came through and checked this guy out this morning, and there was about 15 beans on it, so I picked those all off. I apologize for not showing you folks in YouTube land the harvesting process. I just kind of have a habit of doing it, getting it done. There's a mosquito flying around me, so if I drop my phone or you hear a loud smack, that's why, because I'm squashing mosquitoes. Anyways, my bed of lettuce, growing slow, but they're growing. And it is moist. This is wet soil. You can tell, just looking at it, you can tell that's wet. And then I've got up here, check this out, I've got some radish seeds saved up. Those are supposed to be jumbo radishes. I had more over here, but I had to move the pot somewhere where they could dry out because they were getting wet from the last rain. I've got some radishes up in here. I think this guy right there is a pepper. I'm not 100% on that. I actually can't remember. I planted like 3 pepper seeds in here. Hot pepper seeds. And I think they were the lemon habaneros that I had left over in this bucket, sorry. Mosquitoes are everywhere. I don't have any open water sources back here. Everything's closed off. Look, that's closed, that's capped, that's capped, that's capped. I have no open water back here nowhere, but there's mosquitoes everywhere. My oregano, I had to murder most of this because there was bugs everywhere. That, and it got toasted. A lot of it got fried because of the heat. So due to lack of water and heat, I lost a lot of my oregano, but this is a very hardy plant. All I got to do is give it some water, and it's already starting to come back. I mean, I trimmed this thing pretty much all the way across the top of that, and it's already come back that much in about a week. So just give it some more water and it'll take off and do what it's got to do. Aside from that, let's see, wandering around. My jump up Johnnies, I don't know what's going on with these guys. They toasted, but I have a feeling they might pop up next year, so I'm not actually going to touch that at all. My Canadian garlic. Thank you again, Mallory, for sending me the garlics. I have, these guys are just chilling. No flowers, as you can see. There ain't a single flower on them, but they are not dying. Tons of leaves, I keep breaking them off. As you can see, I just trim these things off. I don't like dead leaves on my plants, so I just cut them. This seems to be doing good. My single one still seems to be doing real well. And then I have, like I said, I planted some yellow reapers over here. I planted about 3 or 4 of them in a little triangle. And take a gander, nothing. I got lemon habanero. Let's see if I can get you on there. Lemon habanero. Check it out. I got 1 popped up so far. And then I'm pretty sure this is either a hot pepper or a bell pepper. I really can't remember. That thing's been growing since December, and I forgot what it is. And yeah, I know it's sad. It's only that big. I refused to transplant it because I didn't want it to die out in the wind. I'm hoping I get some more peppers coming up, but if not, it is what it is, and it's starting to rain. That is awesome. I knew I was going to get wet. My columbines are doing fantastic. They're actually getting huge. Not producing any flowers yet because I think it's past their season, or at least for this batch. But next year I'm going to have a ton of flowers on these things. And this guy, I swear, I can't kill it, and it is just growing like a weed. So that's a brand new stock. That's a brand new stock. That's a brand new one. Let's see, this one in the center is a brand new one. I've got another one in the middle here. That's a brand new one. And then I've got one back there. That's another new one. Oh, and then I got another one right here. Check this guy out. This will not stop. I can't kill it. I don't know what is going on with it. This thing is like the Energizer Bunny of plants. And here's the top of it. I'm going to have a ton of seeds on that one. I'm going to have a ton of seeds there, more there. You won't get any seeds off of these little pods. They just don't seed for some reason. I'll get about 2, maybe 3 off of this one. But always at the beginning of the year when this plant grows, it'll start popping out all these little ones first, and then they slowly start getting bigger. See, look, I'll get a whole bunch off of this. I'll probably get another 30 seeds out of this forest of plants. And mind you, folks, they're only supposed to be 3 to 4 plants in a pot that size. This thing is just shooting them out. It's crazy. This thing's growing almost as fast as my onions. And I'm going to take a moment to say I apologize for the wind noise. This just came out of nowhere. I knew I was going to get rained on, but I didn't think it was going to happen this quick. But here's what we got. This is what I got last week. Friday or Saturday or Sunday. I can't remember what day I bought this. I know it's been sitting here for about 2 or 3 days. There's some mushroom compost, some steer manure. That's the garden soil I use. Let me flip it over so you guys can see. And yep, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all heard that, that was thunder. And that storm is almost right on top of me. But anyways, I got the garden soil for in-ground use, vegetables and herbs. And I just mix it together, and this stuff seems to work phenomenally. And then I usually mix it with either a full bag of that or half a bag, depending on how much I'm mixing. I usually do a 1-to-1-to-1 ratio. So one of these, one of those, and then if I have to, I'll add steer manure. But for the most part, this stuff seems to work. And then about, I don't know, a quarter bag of perlite. And then I just started recently to mix this stuff in there, the seed starting mix, just to make it more light and fluffy. Because this stuff will break down faster since it's already nice and broken down to begin with. So it'll break down even quicker, biodegrade, and give more nutrients to my plant life. Gonna go back around to the greenhouse to the east side. My mint, y'all saw a couple weeks ago, I chopped this all down. I think I filmed it, but I don't know if I haven't posted the video just yet. I will do that later today. I cut all this stuff down, and look, this guy's already starting to grow back. So it is highly possible to get more than one set of cuttings off of your mint. Sorry, got the hiccups. I've got my trailers. These are runners. These guys like to curl around the outside normally, or if they'll get long enough, they'll drop down to the ground and they'll grow in the dirt. These guys do not care. It is really hard to kill this stuff. But look, I've got new growth up there on those ones, and you can see a little bit on that one. And I swear I'm gonna get dumped on here in a minute. I may or may not have to go inside here, folks. But let's wander off through here. I was gonna try to finish off most of this stuff and get the rest of it done, but didn't look like it's gonna happen. So anyways, going over to the compost pile, I keep adding dead plant matter. I got a bad bell pepper that I just chucked in there because it was bad on one side. It was all dry and brown. Just organic matter. That was from the basil I trimmed yesterday to get set up for the dehydrator. I got it currently dehydrating now. Oh man, I don't know where this came from. I got a garden stake in here. And check this out. That is actually growing off of a chunk of corn I shoved in here a couple of weeks ago, or about a week ago after I turned it over. I thought I had buried it far enough that it wouldn't do anything, but yeah, sure enough, I've got 3 little corns growing off of that one little piece of corn there. Which I didn't think would actually grow, to be honest. I thought this stuff was going to be, since it was kind of wet when I threw it in there, I thought it would just get murdered or biodegrade or do what, I don't know. I just wasn't expecting it to grow. Throwing more mulch and leaf matter over here in my secondary compost pile, which I'm not doing too much with. This is just like an add-on pile. And I've got this guy over here. As sad as this one looks like I might be cutting him out of this planter soon as well. Got ladybugs everywhere though. Look, ladybugs. 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 I mean, other than that, look, these guys are doing phenomenal. I lose 1 or 2 here and there, which is not too bad, as I think I had like 8 of these growing in here all at once. My corn and bean wall. Corn is completely dead. I'm surprised the stalks haven't all completely fallen over yet, but I think that's mainly because the beans are actually still holding them up between that and the trellis. It's actually created its own frame. Oh, look, I got another one there. I got beans galore on this thing. I check them every 3-4 days, and look, I missed one. I just did this morning, or yesterday. I went through here. Look, I got 2 more down here. Look at this. I got 2 more here. So yeah, if anybody knows how to actually kill this stuff, let me know, because mine are growing like weeds. I remember, I told you guys that I had chopped all of this stuff off. I went straight across, and this stuff has actually grown another probably 3 feet. And it's just wrapping around itself and doing whatever it wants. I can't get it to stop growing. So for a specific person out there, also known as Mark from Rolling Homestead in Wisconsin, I hope you're happy and proud, because this is the first time I've really grown these things, and these suckers took over. They took over so bad they're actually starting to climb through here. I have one stringer. Oh no, I actually pulled the stringer out just to move him. But check it. I've got another zucchini in there. I actually got another 2 or 3 in here. Oh, my flowers are starting to get aphids, so I have to keep cutting these off. Also keep spraying them. But yeah, I threw some manure in here too. Good couple of handfuls just to give these guys some more fertilizer. They don't really need it because of the symbiosis between the plants. Look, I got 2 more beans down here. Look at this. More down here. And I went through this 2 days ago. This stuff just does not stop. I'm trying to get these guys, these little runners, long enough to go to the fence. If I can get them to go to the fence, I can create a little wall, and then they'll start growing along the fence. But they're not getting there yet. And I got a caterpillar eating another one of my plants. Great. Let me see if I can find it so I can kill it. I got aphids on the bottom of that one. Oh, he's in here somewhere. He's on one of my plants. I'll find him. I'll find that little caterpillar and I'll get him off of there. But yeah, check it out. I've got little radishes growing everywhere. These, I believe, are the garden giant. No, actually, these are just regular radishes. These aren't the garden giants. Or maybe they are. I don't remember. But check it. Radishes. Radishes. Radishes, folks. I planted these ones about 2-3 weeks ago. So they're doing pretty good, actually. I'm actually shocked. You can plant these every couple of weeks, just about everywhere in your yard, and they'll pretty much grow in just about anything. I got them over here in what used to be zucchini and potatoes, and they're doing all right. I've got my peppers back in here. I got a couple of bell peppers on one plant. It's very hard to see my plants, as you can visualize here, this bush. And mind you, you saw the stems that I cut off. I cut off about 6-7 stems off of this thing, and look, I can't. All of this white you see, those are flowers. Those will seed. I cannot keep up with this thing. I come out here every 2 days and I trim these, and they just keep going. There's no end to them. I have to move this just so I can get in here. See, look, I trimmed off down there. I trimmed off over here. I trimmed off right there. Trimmed off on that side, and it just won't stop growing. I've got my bell peppers redoing whatever it's doing over there after the caterpillar ate most of it. Well, I'm finally getting some flowers, so I'm going to get some off of here. And I do want to show you guys some good news here in just a minute. I have my melon trellis, but check it out. I got a little melon, I got a big melon, and where did that go? I got 2 more melons there. I got one behind that leaf, and now I have, let's go around this side because it keeps moving. I got my little melon there. Oop, I got a little melon over here, and I got another one. Where'd he go? Right there. So I got tons of little melons coming up on here. I believe these are the cantaloupes. These, as I said, these ones were volunteers. They just kind of sort of showed up one day. So I gave them a trellis system to climb up, and they are golden. But look at this. I mean, I can't, back to the basil, I can't keep up with this. And you really only need, let's take this off here. You leave about that much to go to full seed, and that's probably 200 seeds once this thing is fully done. Because each one of these little bells will hold 4 seeds. And you usually get about 6 to 8 bells around each one. And they'll keep going. This thing will get about a foot long. Literally, it'll get about a foot long. So watch, here's another one. Look at how long that thing is. That one's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this is just going to get bigger and bigger. And it won't stop. Well, okay, maybe not a foot long, but roughly about 8 inches. I mean, that's probably good 4 or 5 inches there. And these things just keep going. They really won't stop. My tree is doing fantastic over here. Absolutely fantastic. Look, I even have green down on the bottom. It's actually starting to send out branches there. I got some lower leaves that look like they're in distress from too much heat or whatnot, but I mean, the top is doing fantastic. And all I do is I just give this thing water every few days. But I do give it, I soak it once a week, like fully soak it. till all of this stuff over here, till all my mulch is floating. I do like to have my my plants nice and moist. But let's see, I'm going to show you guys here in just a moment the happiness that I figured out. I actually have something that I'm super proud of. Check this guy out. That there, folks, is a daikon radish. It is actually pushing itself out of the ground because it's touching the materials down on the bottom of this planter that I laid before I put all the dirt in here. On the bottom of this planter, see, from, I think from like here down is mulch, leaves, and bark. So I think my daikon is sitting on a piece of bark, a large chunk, and it's pushing itself out. It's actually growing up. I will be harvesting this one very soon. I will do it actually next week. I will do a harvest video next week for you guys, which probably won't be posted for 2 weeks, but I'll do a harvest video. I'm letting my spinach die off over here so I can get the seeds and grow more in here. And then check this out. I've got red bell peppers, and yes, I know these are red. These are actual bell peppers. This was one of the rainbow varieties, because usually you get them in reds, greens, oranges, and yellows, and these are red ones. So and the way they're growing indicates with the 4 nodules down on the bottom tells me it's a bell pepper. I've got more on this side. Look at how beautiful these things are, man. These are absolutely gorgeous. This here is a bell pepper as well. And then now I'm going to show you guys, aside from more bell peppers, check this out. I have actually figured out what these are. If I can show you, check that out. That is not a purple bell pepper. I believe these are actually the chocolate habaneros that I got seeds from. I thought this was a bell pepper plant, but I actually think that these are chocolate habaneros. I'll see if they get much bigger. If they get much bigger, I'll find out and I'll taste a piece. But I'm almost positive now that these were actually my chocolate reaper, or my chocolate habaneros. I think I got these from either Donald Morris or Cindy from Hunt from Heat, or Hunt for Heat, sorry. So yeah, I'm like super happy. I'd possibly have hot peppers. Ooh, and holy moly, I didn't check this guy out. Look at how freaking massive that bell pepper is. That's a full-size bell pepper, folks. Look at that. I got another one over there, and I'm holding another one, and I'm gonna have 2 more here. And ooh, I wish I would have weaved this guy up through the lattice work to get him up stabilized, but he'll stabilize on his own. And I got more bell peppers here just growing on their own. And my carrot's actually doing fantastic over here. He's the only one so far I've seen in this pot, or in this section, that's actually that big. But yeah, not too bad actually. Got about 1.5 minutes, and I'm going to cut this video. I got my eggplant doing fantastically. Can't stop this thing from growing. I still have about 3 or 4 dozen eggplants on here. It's just going ballistic. They're everywhere, 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 everywhere. Of course, the minute I go over there, the wind blows the leaves in front of it. Everywhere. But here's the bigger one. Check this guy. I want you guys to see this. I have this carrot right here. Bam! Look at how wide that thing is. That thing's probably 1.5 inches, almost 2 inches straight across. And I'm hoping that carrot's about 1 foot long. Look at that. Look at how vibrant that is. You can see that from way over here, and I'm about 10 feet away from that. Anyways, folks, thank you all for sticking with me through this little video, aka the garden tour update, my project update, and you know, all that wonderful jazz. Also to let you know, guys know that I am still doing fine and well. Wind is starting to pick up. I got these nasty clouds rolling in, but the wind is coming from that way, which is aggravating. But anyways, I digress. If you guys stuck around this long, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up, slap that bell icon for all of those who are new to get notifications on when I do update videos. Aside from that, folks, you all have a wonderful day. This is going to be Fox It Outdoors signing off.